So, Sissy, what is one memory that we share that you cherish?
So many. I think I'm gonna go. Oh, there's so many. Jeez. I'm gonna go with our trip to Ghana.
Hey, which one?
You didn't even have to ask. Our second trip to Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed just doing, like, we did a whole bunch of vlogs and we just talked about our time there. And I think it was just special. Like, obviously she's from Ghana and hadn't really been without her family before, prior, except for the time prior to that, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we had a really good time. I think we made a lot of great connections.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got to do the Eva Marcel.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we got to hang out with Eva Marcel at her fashion show thing. So, yeah, I think it was a perfect mix of business, and pleasure. So yeah, I think that's probably the most memorable. There's a whole bunch.
I love that one.
There's a whole bunch.
I want to like ditto on it, but let me see. Let me try and come up with something. I feel like it's travel. Like Curacao is coming to my mind next.
Yeah,
like we had an amazing girls trip with all those girls that we, fell in love with at that job we used to work at. But left and right, we're always kind of like the planners. Like things don't happen, and if we don't make it work, right? But regardless of that, we still were able to we planned a trip, okay? And on a budget.
Ask the person whose trip it was, who shall be remain nameless, so you can't really ask her. But we did
she'll tell you.
On a nice budget, like Afua said, in a very beautiful house.
Yes. Okay. Beautiful. Party bus.
Yep.
It was amazing. It was amazing. So kind of just any moment where we get to travel, I think is incredibly exciting to me because it was always crazy memories, always like insane nights, but just so much love, so much bonding.
Agreed.
I love those moments.
Yeah.
Next question. Ooh, okay, here's a good one. What's been the most challenging part of building Kaboom Design so far for you?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Well, I think it's still working a full-time job. Working a full-time job that requires brain capacity and thinking, and so it's really hard to, and my job, it ebbs and flows. I happen to be in my very busy season, so it's much harder now than it was a few months ago. So it's like making the time after I log off of that job, then I hop on and do Kaboom stuff, or I'll wake up early in the morning, and so just making sure that I'm putting my all into it, because this is this is my business and this is what I want to do. After I want to leave the 9-to-5 and do this. So that has been the most difficult part, and then I think also just being patient, because it's a lot of work, and I know anyone who owns a business knows how much work it is to put into it. Even if you just think about the marketing, and because we have a dual-sided marketplace, we have two customers, if you will. You have the designer side, and then you have the customer side. So it's both. You have to kind of juggle those two things. So I think that just being patient and knowing that all the hard work that we're putting into it is going to eventually pay off. So those have been the two hardest things for me.
See, this is the thing. It's because she'll say an answer, and it's like, well, that's my answer.
Well,
so then what do I say?
I can always take the.
I am giving you the first, because you're my elder, so.
That's true. Now she wants to show that
me in front of for the people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so another challenge for me then. Well, I'll go more personal then. There was a brief moment in which I had to kind of step away from Kaboom, and in a really critical building time for getting us launched, and because I had just gotten married, we had moved, my health went insane. It was a lot, and I just couldn't figure out how to keep all the balls in the air, and I knew that there was that Water Walker series, and there's that moment, Dr. Darius Daniels, lifechange.org.
Oh my God.
Watch it.
Please.
Just watch.
Please.
Bless your life.
Please. Absolutely.
Yes. So I remember watching that series and just this moment of kind of realizing that, like, for KBD to grow, I needed to step back. I needed to not be selfish in a sense of me wanting to make sure that, like, it was me and my sissy at all times moving this thing forward, because God had talked to her privately and has said it was time to build, and he didn't call me with that exact message because my life, he wasn't building in the same way in that moment. So it was stepping back and needing to realize that, like, the dream is bigger than either one of us, and that for it to move in that moment, I needed to kind of pause, take care of me, and allow me roll in the way that she was able to roll in that time. So it was definitely the most challenging moment for me to kind of step away for something that we've been working on building 7 years at that point.
Yeah.
But also, like, the most proud moment that I've ever had, because the way in which Allow Me was able to launch everything, you guys should have seen our launch party if you were there. And that was all this one. Like, she got it all together. It was incredible. Just, like, so many emotions. But, yeah, it was such a beautiful thing, and definitely glad to be in a much better place in life again. God gave me the little whisper, got me back on track. So being able to be back in it has been incredible.
I think it's, and I think for me, it's like, I knew that was best for her, and I didn't, and you know, they say don't go into business with your friends because you don't want to, and I felt like the most important thing was that sisterhood, and you know, everything else will fall into place. So I wasn't mad at her. Like, there were times where I was like, damn, I wish she was here, but I also do feel like God forced that too, because I also use people as a crutch sometimes and feel like I can't do things on my own. So I feel like I needed that push to be able to at least, like, no, like, God put stuff in you, you can, like, I feel, you know, I do feel like we are a good pair together, but we also have to be strong individually too. So I feel like that was God showing me my individual abilities that I never thought that I would have never thought I'd be able to do it by myself in that moment. So it was some times I was like, oh, she just left me. But I mean, at the core of it, I was never like upset or resentful, because I knew she had to do what was right for her. But I also knew it was like, well, God did tell me, so I can't just be like, all right, well, she's out, I'm out too. So it's like, all right, gotta make it work somehow. But I'm glad that she's back, and we're making it work.
Yeah. That was a whole sermon. We just gave y'all a life lesson.
Hallelujah.
Bless it. Okay, so we just did the most challenging. What's been the most rewarding part for you so far in building?
The most rewarding, I think, I know I talked about, like, okay, working my 9 to 5 and then coming and working this. Well, this doesn't feel like work to me. It feels like I just get so much joy and passion around it, especially like so much, like, all the women that are so talented that we feature on our marketplace. I think they're amazing women, and there's plenty of them out there. So that, to me, like, getting to see them, getting to hear their stories, getting to see their journey, and they're all in different stages. Some are like shooting out are out there doing their thing. Others are just trying to get their footing and trying to get their name out there. So they're all in different stages. So I love seeing that. And I love confirmation where people just, like, they stop us and, oh my God, I love your clothes. I love your pieces. I love your Instagram. I love what you guys are doing. So that, to me, just like the confirmation from other people has been very, feel rewarding, and I feel like in due time we'll continue to grow. But I think that has been those two things, seeing the women and also seeing the compliments. And
great answer. I have another one. So all of that, and I think what's been really exciting is when having designers that have been reaching out to us, because I definitely remember in the beginning that was a fear of ours, like nobody knows us, like we're social workers, we're not in the we're not even in the fashion industry, who's going to want to work with us? But there's just kind of been like an outpour, like we're getting messages all the time of different designers like sending us samples of stuff, or if we reach out to them, they're like super excited. So that was definitely a fear of like, oof, it's going to take us forever to get designers interested. And we're in a place right now where it's like, well, we can't take everybody yet because, the money's still got to come in. So go to kaboomdesigns.com and shop now.
Head on over.
So
It's
we
still
can add on more
September,
designers.
so you have 20% off.
20%. Look at that. 20.
20.
20.
Okay,
get your percentage off
now.
So we can bring on more designers
Yes.
who have been fantastic to work with.
Yes, fantastic. And I want to dispel the myth that, and I think,
dispel it.
yeah, I think Adetoke from SGT said it, that yes, do you have bad apples of designers on the continent? Of course, just like you have anywhere. But the women that we have been working with have excellent customer service skills, have great quality clothing. You know, if there's something that we want to tweak or adjust, they're so open. So I just wanted to dispel that rumor that, you know, designers on the continent aren't trustworthy, or you can't trust them and they're not, you know. So yes, are there out there? Absolutely. But you can find a bunch of women who are not like that, because we have found them. So.
We have. Thank you. Important.